Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is a chilly once again. I hate to talk about anything else other than the coldness that's outside. Jackson Jurek joined by the wonderful Caitlin Lohr here on this KEYC News Now to Go. Caitlin, it was almost worse this morning than it was yesterday in terms of feel like temperature, actual temperature. Good news is tomorrow and Saturday are a little bit better as we head into the weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. But overall, it's just not looking too promising out there.
No, but I will say, and I don't know if you've seen it yet, but on the extended forecast, there's a little glimmer of hope towards the end of it.
That.
So hopefully, cross your fingers, cross your toes. I know Sean is going somewhere warm.
Yeah, he's a lucky duck.
I envy him, but hopefully that means he's going to bottle some of that warm weather up and bring it back, because I think we're all ready to thaw out. Now, if you have not thawed out yet, here's one that'll send some shivers down your spine. Once again, these were the low temperatures from this morning. Since midnight, this is the coldest that we have been. We were as cold, I should say, as 12 below zero at one point this morning, but the coldest in the area got down as cold as 20 below zero, and that is without the wind chill. With the wind chill, Worthington saw a feels like temperature, or I should say Worthington felt as cold as 42 below zero a little while ago, earlier this morning. Now, the good news is we are going to rise above zero today, but the bad news is we are looking at temperatures topping out at around 8 degrees. Now, we're not looking at any snow today. However, we are still tracking that chance of snow tomorrow, and I'll have more details on when we could see some of that snow coming up shortly. Jackson?
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Caitlin. We'll start in national news this morning. President Donald Trump says today's the day he'll sign off on reciprocal tariffs. He says they could affect almost every country. His administration says it has a plan to decrease inflation and says it wants lower interest rates. Amy Kyler reports many economists worry tariffs could push the country in the opposite direction.
The world has taken advantage of the United States for many years.
President Donald Trump says he's formally unveiling reciprocal tariffs today. He wants the U.S. to effectively match the ones other nations impose on U.S. goods. The timing is notable. The CPI report out yesterday shows inflation rose 3% year over year last month. That's higher than expected and above the Federal Reserve's target. Many economists worry potential trade wars could amplify inflation even more.
Economists would say that tariffs are going to be inflationary.
Tariffs could be viewed as inflationary, especially if there are reciprocal tariffs.
Trump disagrees with that viewpoint. He also argues tariffs raise money, balance trade, and serve as leverage. His administration adds that he has a broader plan to curb inflation.
We're focusing on getting spending under control and having supply side tax cuts and regulatory policies and drilling and so on, so that there's a lot of supply, reduced demand.
Meanwhile, Trump is butting heads with the Fed.
We're close but not there on inflation.
He argues it should cut interest rates. He says that would go hand in hand with his tariffs plan. Given the latest inflation numbers, many analysts don't believe that will happen when the Fed meets in March.
They want that number closer to 2.5, and it might take some time to get there.
I'm Amy Kylie reporting.
Back here in Minnesota, fraud has become a major talking point at the Capitol this year as Republicans and Democrats alike are proposing dozens of bills on the issue. Senate Republicans announced their fraud package with a long list of bills that aims to tackle the issue at its roots. As Quinn Gorham explains, the broad bipartisan support we're seeing on fraud prevention could result in action in both chambers of the legislature.
On Wednesday, Minnesota Senate Republicans introduced a sweeping fraud package, dialing up the rhetoric on the DFL.
We are here before you today because unchecked waste, fraud, and abuse have been allowed to run rampant under the current administration and one-party control.
But most of the party's 8 listed bills are far from partisan this year. The package addressed things like oversight, transparency, and grant distribution. Asked whether any of the bills had bipartisan interest, several members spoke up.
The Senate File 263 has a DFL co-author on that bill, and it actually had a hearing yesterday in the state government committee. So this is an idea of strengthening the Office of the Legislative Auditor.
Another bill to improve whistleblower protections has a prospective DFL sponsor. It's all part of a bigger theme, one that suggests that Democrats and Republicans are working together on this issue.
These are not just co-authors. They are active partners in the drafting of this bill language, proof that Minnesotans can work together to get done important things that need to get done.
A showing of bipartisanship on Tuesday might be the perfect example. The state government committee heard from 2 senators, one from each party, as they detailed the same bill to establish a state inspector general.
And that's why I'm here today, to collaborate and be open to suggestions on the best way to move forward in our role as legislators to help protect taxpayer dollars to prevent waste, fraud, abuse here in Minnesota.
While that current bill has a Republican co-author, others in the GOP see room for improvement.
It doesn't provide the clarity between the Office of the Inspector General, the newly created, and the legislative auditor.
Senate Republican Mark Coran is introducing his own version, but sounds willing to work his language in with the other bill.
I believe there's many good ideas in it. We hope that it ends up in a great bipartisan bill that we can put on the governor's desk.
Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
A restaurant in Rochester says 2 of its workers were arrested by federal immigration agents on Wednesday. NUPA confirmed in a Facebook post 2 employees were arrested by ICE. According to the restaurant, 2 employees were brothers. The restaurant alleges the brothers may have been working under false documentation. Rochester police confirmed it was made aware of ICE operations in town, but did not take part in the operation. Back here in Mankato, several student groups at MSU Mankato assembled yesterday afternoon to protest the Trump administration and its policies. Mavericks for Change, College Democrats, Women for Reproductive Justice, and the LGBT Center, among other groups, gathered in the Centennial Student Union. The rally had speakers from all groups, and protest organizers say their goal is to inspire their fellow students to take action within their local communities and make a difference anywhere they can.
Starts with you, and it has to start today and now. It's really important that you get out into your community and contact your legislators, vote, but also engage in civil disobedience, protest.
Talking points at the rally included protecting the democratic process and the Trump administration's pushes against DEI policies, which the student groups say they want to see preserved at the college. Well, the U.S. Department of Education is directing a Title IX investigation at the Minnesota State High School League. The investigation comes shortly after an announcement made by the MSHSL that said athletes will still be allowed to participate in sports based on their gender identity as outlined by Minnesota state law. But President Trump's executive order states, quote, "It is the policy of the United States to rescind all funds from educational programs that deprive women and girls of fair athletic opportunities," end quote. State Republicans recently introduced legislation that limits participation in all girls' sports to people who were born female. A first-time fundraising event takes place this Friday on Valentine's Day. Be the Light and United Prairie Bank are teaming up to help raise funds for local women impacted by breast cancer. Be the Light is asking for a $14 donation, which is then matched by the United Prairie Bank. All the funds will go toward helping Be the Light host events and create opportunities where women can find support and connect with others who share a similar story.
All of our programs that we do through Be the Light for breast cancer survivors are at no charge for survivors. So that means that fundraisers like this are incredibly important to us because this is how we fund all of our programming. And with the amount of breast cancer survivors coming to Be the Light and seeking out our programs, we need to supplement that. So we have come up with a few really fun new fundraising ideas for 2025.
If you'd like to donate on Friday, head to BeTheLightInfo.org. Betty Whiteout and Clark W. Bliswald have their newest friends. Governor Walz was on hand as MnDOT unveiled the winners of its 5th Name a Snowplow contest. I Came, I Thaw, I Conquered is the name selected for District 7, which covers south central Minnesota. Plowabunga won in southeast Minnesota. Other winners include Don't Ya Snow, Skull Plow, and we're off to see the blizzard.
And so that is a huge thank you to the folks that do this work, the folks who are true professionals that we count on to be able to do that.
MnDOT received more than 7,300 name submissions during the contest. You can see all the winners and some of the finalists that didn't win under this story on our website and mobile app. Well, Caitlin, as you saw in that video over there, the Anthony Sledwards was probably my favorite name, but there was definitely a couple of good ones in there.
Oh my gosh, every year. This is something that was new to me when I moved here 2.5 years ago, and I have become I look forward to it every year, and I look forward to seeing the list of names and seeing which ones come out on top. And every year I'm like, those ones I feel like deserve to win, but I also feel like they all deserve. They're so creative. I have yet to come up with one myself. Eventually I will come up with one.
Maybe that should be your 2026 New Year's resolution.
To come up with a winning snowplow name?
See what
we'll
we
try.
can come up with.
Maybe we can just think warm and happy thoughts, and maybe it'll just come to me, just like maybe the warm weather that we're wishing for. That's not coming our way.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Here we are looking at another cold one today. Those temperatures not going to rise much above zero. We've spent all morning under zero with our temperatures and including our wind chill values. At one point, Worthington saw the coldest wind chill values reaching as cold as 42 below zero for what it felt like out there earlier this morning. Here in Mankato, we got to about 25 below zero with what it felt like with the wind chill. Other areas ranging between 20 and 40 below across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. As we warm up with the sunshine today, like I said, it won't be much. We're only looking at a whopping high of 8 degrees, but at least it is above zero. And tonight, we're actually going to stay above zero as we go into the late night and overnight hours, reaching a low of about 1 between 10 and 11 o'clock tonight. Going forward, those wind chill values are going to top out at about 5 below zero this afternoon. And then, of course, as always, drop back below zero, ranging between 10 and 15 below zero tonight into tomorrow morning, which kind of foreshadows that tonight is not going to be nearly as brutally cold as it was last night into this morning. So as of right now, we do not have any cold weather advisories in place for tonight or tomorrow morning. And the one that we had earlier this morning did expire as of 9 o'clock. Now tonight, like I said, we are actually looking at a low of a single degree. That's going to be through the late night hours before the overnight hours, and then increasing clouds move in. And those clouds, as they move in, going to keep us a little bit warmer, which is why temperatures are going to rise. But the other reason they're going to rise is because of a minor warm front that's going to move through. And that's kind of the driving force for some snow that we're going to see with a high of 25 degrees. Talk about a heat wave out there. Let's talk about that snow starting tomorrow morning with some flurries across the area. Those flurries will kind of develop into scattered snow showers around the area by the afternoon hours. What that means is that some people may continue to see flurries, while others of us may see some more moderate snowfall at times. And it's going to be very hot, hit or miss. Like we talk about popcorn showers in the summertime, we call these popcorn snow showers. It's going to be hit or miss depending on where you are. And eventually, a lot of the area will see snow from Mankato eastward heading into the afternoon hours. We'll get a little bit of a break from that snow, maybe a few lingering flurries, and then another round of the bulk of the snow will move back in late tomorrow night and continue as we make our way into Saturday morning. How much snow are we looking at? Well, we are still a little dry up above in the upper atmosphere, so from Mankato westward, we're looking at a dusting up to an inch. Locally, though, some areas could see up to 2 inches. And of course, the more east you head, the higher those totals are going to get. Northeast, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible. And to the southeast of us, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible. As of right now, there are no winter weather advisories or related alerts in effect for this snow tomorrow, but we'll keep you updated should we see any. And of course, this snow does fall on Valentine's Day, might make for some more romance in the air if that's your thing, like rain. I have no idea. You know, people like to be out in the rain. Maybe they like to be out in the snow. We're trying to find warm, happy thoughts, Jackson, because look at next week, single digits out there. So whatever warm, happy thoughts you can get, just hold on to them.
Well, hopefully everybody's got a Valentine's Day planned out where they do get to enjoy some warmer air temperatures. And I did see that 25, 26 degrees 10 days from now.
Yes.
So fingers crossed.
Warm up on the way, finally.
We'll see what happens. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Caitlin. We'll transition into some sports now. Timberwolves have 2 games back-to-back before the All-Star break. First up, they're taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. To the Target Center, no Giannis Antetokounmpo or Damian Lillard last night for the Bucks. Ant had 13 points in the first quarter, and Rudy Gobert had a solid first half with 12 points and 8 boards. But the shooting was just not there for the Wolves. Ant was 10 of 33 and 4 of 17 from behind the arc. The Wolves had a 10 of 14 team shooting from behind the arc last night. In the second half, Bucks went on a 16-1 run but the Wolves will take a 3-point lead with a corner three from Naz Reid. Bucks would answer right back in this game at 101, under 40 ticks left. Ant's step back is no good to win the game. Minnesota loses this game 103-101. Tough loss to the Bucks, who were without Giannis and Damian Lillard. Brutal shooting night for Minnesota. They'll look to turn it around tonight and hopefully pick up a win against the KEYC Thunder before the break. To the ice we go. The Four Nations face-off kicked off last night, and there were a few familiar faces in the Sweden starting lineup. Philip Gustafsson and Jonas Brodin getting the start this evening. Canada takes a 2-0 lead after one period of play, but in the second period, Brodin cuts the lead in half to make it a 1-goal game. To the third period we go. Joel Eriksson-Ek ties it up at 3, and this game would need overtime to decide a winner, as you see Joel Eriksson-Ek's backdoor tap in right there. In overtime, it would be Mitch Marner of the Toronto Maple Leafs with the game winner to give Canada a 4-3 win. Tonight, we get to watch Matt Boldy, Brock Faber, and Team USA, who take on Finland. That's at 7 o'clock tonight. Caitlin, I know you're not a big hockey fan, but my oh my, that looked like some fun times right there.
Oh gosh, no. Actually, I love hockey.
Really?
I would love to go. I love going to the games more than watching it on TV.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different atmosphere, but hockey is one that is just always, you never know what to expect, and it's just
100%.
so exciting. The atmosphere of all the fans and everything just makes you just want to jump right in.
Well, Team USA and Finland get to do it tonight, so I'll definitely be paying attention to that. We'll have those highlights tomorrow as well. So thank you, Caitlin, and thanks for watching KEYC News Now. To go update, stay with KEYC News Now for the latest local news, weather, and sports on our website.
And always, of course, don't download the free KEYC News and weather apps for the latest headlines and forecast.
Have a great day.